Morning, this is Brian. Today is Sunday, November 24th, 2019. I'm right here at Red Box Picnic Area in the Angeles National Forest, San Gabriel Mountains of Los Angeles County, California. And I just crossed the road, the Angeles Crest Highway right here, right by Mount Wilson Road. And that's heading up towards Mount Disappointment. Today, I have some plans in mind to hit a couple peaks in the area. At least one peak's going to be a pretty big ticket peak. At least one of them will be a random peak. And there could be a third peak, which is another fairly big ticket peak. Today, my plan is to hike up to Mount Lawlor, which is 5,957 feet, one of the higher peaks of the Front Range of the San Gabriel Mountains. But along the way there is a random peak that can be accessed via a firebreak that comes from the Strawberry Peak Trail, which is the trail I'm using right now. And that's Peak 5166. And that comes up further up along the trail. Now, that'll be the first peak I attempt today, Peak 5166, because that's the closest access point. Then I'll follow the Strawberry Peak Trail all the way to the Lawlor Strawberry Saddle, where I'll branch off up the right, and that'll take me to Mount Lawlor. If I have enough energy in the tank, I might go left later on and do sorry if it's loud, Strawberry Peak. I do Strawberry Peak if I have enough energy after this. So probably the longest hike I've done in a while since before my accident back in June. So should be interesting. I want to say if I do all three, this hike might be a little over 7 miles. Back in the day, or should I say earlier this year, that would have been no sweat for me. But since I haven't done a lot of real long hikes since the accident, I have to consider that I'm not in shape, or at least as much as I was. Like 7, 8 months ago, where 10, 11, 12 mile hikes were the norm. So this will help me start getting back into the swing of things, because I do have a vacation coming up in a week. It's a small one, about 5 days. I'm going to be taking off from work. Try to see if I can do my yearly Santiago Peak hike. perhaps, if there is access to the peak, because the holy fire damage has closed off a lot of the Santa Ana Mountains in Orange and Riverside counties. And Santiago Peak is a yearly tradition for me. I started it in 2015, and this would be my 5th time visiting it. Now, this is going to be my first time visiting Mount Lawlor. If I make it to Strawberry, it'll be my 2nd time there. I've never done it the Mountaineers Class 3 way from Colby Canyon. Here's a huge old birch leaf Cercocarpus. Cercocarpus betuloides radibetuloides. Huge. These are proportions of a small tree. I think it's usually a large shrub, but this one's been around for a long time. It's got a lot of huge old trunks on it. And of course, the leaves are kind of birch-like. Hence the name birch leaf, Cercocarpus, or they also call it birch leaf mountain mahogany. And the name betuloides means like a birch in Latin. This hike is going to be a lot more exposed to the sun than like the previous hike I did when I was hiking under the canopy of Jeffrey pines and white firs when I was up in the San Gabriels last week when I did Buckhorn Peak, Mount Akawe is the other name for it, and I did Random Peak 7118. However, this time I'm a little bit lower in elevation and planning a significantly longer. Now, the hike is rated moderate. The hike to Mount Lawlor, hike to Strawberry Peak from Redbox. This will definitely be a little bit more of a challenge for me since I haven't really been doing these long hikes. With Strawberry, if I do all 3 peaks, my elevation gain will be well over 2,000 feet, which will be the most I've gained since before the June 9th accident. So this will definitely be good at getting me in step with a little bit more endurance and get me to the point where I could do that long hike up to Santiago. So I might be potentially tagging Majeska along with that too, and maybe Maple Springs Point. Those are some peaks in the Santa Ana Mountains. Well, keep following this until I find the junction for Peak 5166, and I'll see you up the way for part 2.